because we're adding more head count than the rate at which the population is growing. You're going to see increased level of unemployment, the deterioration in standard of living, until we have a growth rate that is at least above 3%.
Let's get back to the fiscal side of things. And I'm sure you're sitting at a reception over there when we brought the outlook from GT Bank in January in terms of what that bank thought would be a bit of outlook for the year. And some of the scenario was that they expect the government to commence implementation of fiscal policies that will not only complement monetary policies, but also expand productivity and encourage local production. In the first 6 months, do you think, from the budgetary side, from the ERGP's soundbites and documents that's on the street, do you think we're walking that path so far for the first, now, 7 months?
Well, I think we are quite slow in walking that path, if we have to use that.
We're walking the path, but we're slow.
We are slow. In the first place, we've come up with an economic recovery and growth plan. The implementation of that economic recovery and growth plan, we're yet to see the footprints of the implementation. If you look at the budget was just recently signed into law at a point when we have spent almost 7 months into the fiscal year. So, in terms of using the budget to stimulate consumption, we're yet to see that. We've heard release of funds for capital expenditure implementation, but we're not feeling the impact because, one, it came quite late, and it takes some time for transmission of expenditure into the general economic space. Because you have to pay a contractor, contractor has to pay his bankers, the bankers should be in a position to lend, or the contractor has to go and re-engage labor to resume construction activities. Unfortunately, that came also at the wrong time because it came at the peak of the rainy season. Today, virtually no construction is taking place now. There's no major construction that will take place with the speed, with the volume of rains we are witnessing. So you realize that, look, because the budget took so long to come, the expected impact of that budget may not be fully actualized. Yes, in the projections of GTB had, they expected that economic recovery will start this year. I mean, it's no brainer, given where we're coming from. We were so deep in the hole that whatever effort we made, even without making an effort, the economy was going to bounce better perform better than it did last year. Even if we do nothing. Even if we do nothing. Several factors are exogenous to our policy. One of which is the price of crude. In 2016, we saw crude trade at some point in March to May between $25 and $35 per barrel. This year, crude had maintained in the 40s region. So if you do nothing, the fact that there's an increase in revenue from crude exports will improve your standard.
I've heard this a couple of times, and I'm a little bit unsettled with butterflies in my stomach that we're doing, well, it's not as if we're doing something, but we're just getting lucky because oil prices are back. But of course, we talk to the militants and the folks who are very important in the Niger Delta. This administration did, and of course, the militants have kept quiet to a very large extent. The vandals of the pipelines had also seemed to be a little bit more quiet these days because of increased activity. So, in terms of practical fiscal activities, and I don't want to go about policies all over again because we have a table full and a box full, wardrobe full of policies here. In terms of practical terms, from your own point, we have about 4 minutes left or 3 minutes on this for this very important conversation. Thank you very much. What do you think we should do to support the good fortune of oil prices and stability we're having? Fortunately today, OPEC is not asking us to take a haircut. So that means that we still have some headroom to behave and act. What do you think we should be doing?
Well, we're doing one of those things, which is the issue of addressing the militants in the Niger Delta. That's a policy issue. The second issue we need to do, which I think consider a low-hanging fruit, is to address the power supply, the energy supply in the country. You cannot have productivity if you do not have improvement in energy supply. The government is also working on the agricultural sector. I think they need to go beyond that and address the issue of irrigation so that we could have two-season farming. Agriculture accounts for about 23% of GDP. Growth in agriculture, if agriculture grows about 6-7%, even if the other sectors are not growing and other sectors are neutral, you're going to have a positive growth in your GDP. Another proof of what impact agriculture will have on the economy is that go and take what the print for inflation in the next couple of months. They're going to come down because we're going into the harvest season. So the impact on food inflation of agriculture production will be will manifest in inflation rate. So we need to address the issue of agriculture, improve the process of agriculture, particularly make it easier for farmers to produce all season. We need to address the issue of power supply, energy supply, and then we need to address the issue of petroleum product supply. That has the effect of improving our foreign exchange earnings, reducing our dependence on imports, and creating a lot of the feedstock we need to improve our manufacturing base. So these are going to come at the point of policies, government actions. Apart from the good fortune of oil price, we need to address our production. That is going to be a decision that the government will take.
A final one for you, Johnson. How do you think MPC members should decide tomorrow? What's your take? I'm taking a vote.
Well, I think we're going to see them vote to hold rates.
Vote to hold rates. Yeah, they will do that. What's your vote?
Well, to hold rates.
To hold rates.
You cannot afford to increase rates at the point where your economy has not recovered from depression or for contraction, and you cannot afford to loosen when you are managing your FX and inflation rates.
Very interesting. So, do you think the dilemma of January 2017 is still there?
Yes, we are still in that situation.
Dilemma. The dilemma Godwin Emefiele and the rest of his team face tomorrow when the meeting comes to an end. And of course, we'll be live all over that decisions tomorrow afternoon, as always, from about 1:30 in the afternoon here on Channel Television. Justin Chukwu, I'll see you at Career Asset Management. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
That's a very nice one. It's good to have you here. Early, bright and early, to get business executives here in the studios on a Monday morning on an interesting business week. It's a very interesting one. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back after the break. Let's begin to trade this week. What are the expectations from the equity side of the street? That's what we're talking about next for the final few minutes of the programming. We'll be right back.